This is the Wheel2W Racing League, coming to you from Sarthe in beautiful France. Joining me tonight in commentary is the man himself, just fresh out of his Div 1 race, Big Rexy. How you going, Rexy?
Yeah, g'day Vintage, how are you, mate? Good evening, everyone.
Really well. Yeah, and on visuals tonight we've got Dodgy. Welcome along, Dodgy.
Gentlemen, glad to be here. Looking forward to an excellent race tonight. Just saw the Div 1. It was fantastic. I don't think this one is going to be any worse.
Yeah, exactly right. What was your thoughts, Rexy? How did it go for Div 1?
Yeah, look, you know, it was an extremely fast race for Div 1. I think the overall time was 1 hour 28 minutes. So that, you know, that's cracking around here. Few boys picked up penalties, but all in all, it was fairly clean and yeah, just fast.
It's fast. And look, clean's the main thing. I mean, tonight's race is 22 laps. The track length is 13.6 kilometres, giving us a total race distance of 299 k's, 0.772. There's 33 corners around here, and the direction is clockwise. I think in one of the earlier commentary sessions, Rexy, I think you said it was 38, but I couldn't find that anywhere, so I found 33 corners. Which is all good. Dodgy, can we have a look at the Division 3 Championship?
Sure can.
Please.
It's up right now. I've got Division 2.
Division 2?
Yep. Oh, you okay? Sorry. Yep. My bad. I know what you want. You want the quality times. There you go. Go for it.
Oh, quality times. Hang on, I wasn't after the quality times. That's all right. I've got those. Here we go. So quality time. So Speedy Tyres with the fastest time in Div 3. Contagious in second, MPR with the fourth, Corbin, CCH 199, then EXO, Untouchables, Ultrasolic, Smurf, Troy, Apu, J-Dub, Ham to the Bone, and Evil One with no time at the back. I didn't think qualifying was that important initially, being a 22-lap race, Rexy. I changed my tune very quickly once we started rolling round, and I do think qualifying here was crucial to be up the front at the start of the race.
Yeah, look, I agree. Qualifying round here is fairly crucial, and getting a good start through that first lap.
Yeah.
You know, it's such a long lap, and it's got such long straights that if you can break the pack early, you'll set yourself up for a good race. I find the key to racing around here is probably try to work with somebody.
The buddy system.
The buddy system, definitely. Pair up and you'll do yourselves a favour. You'll probably lap at least a second to a second and a half faster than what you would by yourself, just from doing a bit of a bump along those really long straights.
And don't forget, fuel saving around here as well is crucial. The BMW that we were running in probably is a bit of a natural fuel saver, but you'll find the Aston around here. If you go flat out in the Aston, you're only going to get 3 laps out of it, and unless you're dipping into the 55s, 3 minutes 55 lap times, you're not going to make it. You're going to need to do the 4-lap stints, I think, to get there at the end.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that 3-lap strategies can work unless you're pure axle. 4-lap seems to be the way to go. You've got to do an additional stop if you're doing the 3 laps, and your margin for error is a lot less. So, you know, if you're doing a 3-lap stints and you've got to do that additional stop, then if you pick up a penalty, a 3-second penalty, your race is pretty much done and dusted. So,
yeah.
I think 4-lap stops is probably the safest option. But yeah, these guys really need to try to find somebody to race with and go from there. We've got quite a few Astons in this lobby.
Yeah,
so
we do.
There may be a couple of 3-lap strategies around here.
Yeah, I think one to watch will be Contagious as we see the boys go to the grid. Contagious in that Supra. That Supra's bloody quick in a straight line, I'll tell you.
Yeah, look, I agree. Contagious has been fast. I've seen him lapping the 155s in race setup, so he'll be one to watch. Corbin, he'll be definitely one to watch as well. Speedy Tyres, you know, he's definitely fast. If he'd done a full season, he'd probably be up in Div 2, Div 1, so Speedy will probably take it out, but definitely keep your eye on Contagious.
Alright, the lights are red, the boys are on the grid. Revs are up. And the green.
And they're away, so it looks like Speedy Tyres gets a great start, but who's that? Is that Evil One in the Mercedes? He's had a great start, come from about 6 on the grid,
Yeah, wowee.
up into what looks to be about 2nd position, so he's fighting for 2nd as they come through.
That's Flossie.
Oh, so it's Flossie, yeah?
Flossie, yeah.
So great start by Flossie.
Yeah, Flossie had a cracker. Oh, he's got a half-second penalty already. Just what
That's
you don't
unlucky.
need. Yeah,
But
it
look,
is.
you know, a half-second penalty isn't that hard to burn. I've found that if you just let it run from about the 350 at the first chicane, the second chicane, you'll burn half a second. As we see Speedy Tyres, he's going to pick up a penalty for sure. That's going to be a 2 second penalty, I reckon.
Yeah, wowee.
Oh, he's 2 seconds there for Speedy.
Yeah.
You can't go that wide through that corner.
No, and don't forget you've got to burn your penalty on the lap it was received. So they've got literally almost 4 minutes to work out how to burn it. And it's tough to burn a penalty around here. As we see Exo burning his in the slip. Was Exo picked up another one?
Oh, yeah, Flossie. Oh, as we see Contagious, he's just, holy shit! How did he not take anybody out there? So, wow. I don't know if we can get a replay of that.
Yeah.
Get a replay. Let's see how we go, gents.
Yeah, he's just come in really hot, I think.
No, I reckon Ultra Straw. Oh, sorry, Thrallistic.
Here we are with Contagious. He's coming down. He's cut onto the inside, and I think he's tapped. He's copped a tap behind from Untouchables or Corbin by the look of it, and it's pushed him straight through. I think it was Untouchables that gave him a bit of a tap. So bad luck there for Contagious.
Yeah, look, that's really unlucky. So if we jump to the front, we've got Speedy Tyres who's got penalties, Flossie's got penalties, Corbin's the only one in the top 3 who has no penalties at the moment. So you would think at the end of lap 1, Corbin should inherit the lead while the other guys burn their penalties.
Yeah, definitely. You want to get rid of that penalty. You don't want to carry them over. You don't want the race decided in the stewards' room. This is the final race of the Wheel to Wheel season 6. It's been a fantastic season, and to finish it here at the Super Enduro, this is not a track that I can recall we've done before. And it's tough. You might think a couple of long straights and a few corners. How hard can it be? But man, these penalties make this track, tough.
Yeah, look, you really do need to pay attention. You've got long straights, so the mind can wander. But every apex of the corner, if you just overshoot it a little bit, you're going to pick up a penalty, whether it be a half second to 3 seconds. So as we see the boys burn their penalties, Corbin should inherit the lead in front of Speedy. That Speedy's managed to keep that. So let's see if Corbin can now go with Speedy. As we see someone in the background just spun.
Untouchables has had a spin.
Yeah, so that's right, and somebody else has done it as well. So it's really easy to do as you come through that corner, just to get on the power early and spin.
I think it might have been Euthrolic Straw that gave Contagious a bit of a tap, because I noticed he's dropped right back. He might have tried to redress that situation.
Oh, okay. Look, you know, if Contagious has got enough pace, he can work through the field, you'd think, a little bit, whereas he's back in 10th position right now. And the cars are fairly grouped up still at the moment, so if he can get a little bit of slip from Hammy and then Untouchables, he may be able to push through.
Yeah, these 4 Astons out front are three Astons out front and 1 Merc. They're all fuel saving massively at the moment. So they look like they're on for a 4-stop strategy. With a lot of short shifting.
Yeah, which will also help Contagious out, because he can just...
Sorry, mate. Speedy's got a 2.5 second penalty again.
Again, as we've said, the penalties around this track, and he's going to pick up another one. He's run wide there, hasn't he?
Oh, he might have got away with that.
He got away with it.
Just, man, you can't do that. You'll be cursing.
So look, Corbin at the moment, he's laughing. He can just pretty much just keep pushing the way he is, try not to pick up any penalties. Speedy at the moment looks like he's his own worst enemy.
Yeah, and if Uppy Baby in 4th can latch onto this, he's out of the slip at the moment, but if he can somehow find his way onto the slip of Flossie, he'll be in the mix as well. And of course, Smurf's a long way back from Uppy Baby as well. So, J-Dub and Smurf are working together, which is smart.
Yeah, so is Flossie and Corbin at the moment. So Flossie just gave, as we see Corbin almost overshoot the chicane. Is he going to pick up a penalty there? Let's see if he does. Looks like he's escaped it. But yeah, Flossie's working with Corbin at the moment, giving him a bump. But, you know, when you are doing that, you do need to know when to bump and when not to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can see what just happened to Corbin and overshoot.
Yeah, we did a lot of practice, didn't we, Rexy, with the Team Vintage and the BMWs for slipstreaming. And I know you just spent 22 laps in a slipstream as well, so well practiced, well placed to talk about it.
Yeah, we put quite a few laps together slipstreaming, especially Shansdale and myself. We were trying to do it as a threesome, which is even harder. You know, to work as a pair is good. As a threesome, that third car, you're driving the balls off the thing to try to stay in that slipstream. And if you add a fourth to the mix, it's even harder to stay in it.
Tell you what, gents, old Contagious is coming up behind Troy there in the McLaren. Now he's going for the inside line on Troy, and he's taken him. And he's
Troy's
got a
giving him a
bump.
nudge.
They're both into the wall.
Troy's giving him a hit there. I don't know if we can get a replay of that, but Troy got on the gas too soon.
We did have it on. Yeah, sorry, I missed that one.
Yeah, Contagious is quick in the the Supra's quick, but yeah.
So we got Smurf and J-Dub working together at the moment. It looks like Smurf's content just to sit behind him, which is, you know, not a bad strategy for Smurf. He's got to do a bit of fuel saving in that Aston. We know it's thirsty around here. So Corbin has now inherited the lead, as we saw Speedy Tyres burn the 2.5 second penalty, although he's coming back at him now. So Speedy's not content to just sit behind him. He wants to lead this race. So if I was Corbin, I would happily just sit behind him. There's no point racing for the lead this early on the race.
Yeah, I do agree with that. From our point of view here in commentary, let's go for it. Go for it, Corbin.
Oh, yeah, keep pushing. That's what we want to see. Dice.
I tell you what, this has allowed Up You back into it. Like, he's in half a sniff here. He's up to third. So, obviously something must have happened to Exo.
Yeah, so Exo may have made a mistake or picked up a penalty and had to burn it. So you'll find here that Exo, he's really going to have to push extremely hard to stay on the back of these Astons at the moment.
Yep.
If he makes a mistake, these other guys are just going to pull away from him.
Yeah, Up You Baby with the fastest lap there at 3:57. That's a good lap time.
Yeah, that's a nice time for these Div 3 boys.
Oh, I will give a shout out to Up You Baby as well. He is the highest runner in Team Screw Loose. I do think we bookend you guys at the moment in the team's ladder. You guys are number one and we're running number very last. But Up You's giving it a good show at the moment.
He's picked up a penalty though. He's picked up a 1 minute penalty in that first chicane.
He just got a nudge. I don't know. Did he get a hit there?
Yeah, can we get a replay of that? Apu on Corbin?
Definitely looked like he copped a hit.
Okay, let's see. Here we go. We're coming down. Up You is on the inside there. Corbin just in front of him. And it's the slightest nudge. It's hard to tell, guys, whether it was Evil One or Up You, but Corbin's just grazed along the front of him, so it'd be a hard one to pick. I'd hate to be a steward on that one. And now we're back in with Up You.
Yeah, so look, let's jump on board with Flossie. Let's go on board with him as we see him slipstream with Up You. So Up You's actually got 0.9 of a second to burn.
That's given Speedy Tyres has got a nice little gap there now. I tell you what, these pit stops are crucial as well because if you can save as much fuel as you can, it obviously shortens your pit stop, the amount of time you're static for, and that can, if you're this close to each other, that literally means you can jump someone in the pits.
Yeah, you can. Look, fuel saving is important, but speed is more important. So you need to look at, is it worth fuel saving or should you just go hell for leather? In the Beamer, for instance,
yep,
just drove the balls off the thing.
Yep. I do think it's a 22-lap sprint race. I know it might be different for the BMW compared to the Astons, where if you go balls out in the Aston, it's a 3-lap rather than a 4-lap.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Depending on what car you're in. So the AMG Mercedes, very good on its fuel. So Flossie can drive the wheels off that thing for the entire race. As we see him just bump and run with Apu at the moment.
Yeah, Apu's got to get rid of this, 9/10. Nearly second penalty he's got at the moment. Is he going to do it here? No. Yes, he is.
Yep, there he goes.
Apu's just, Oh, he's dropped all the way back to 4th on the back of Corbin.
Yeah, so he's still in that slip range with Corbin, so that's not a bad result for burning a second penalty. He's quite lucky there, so he stays in touch with the leaders at the moment. But Speedy Tyres, he's already got a 4-second lead, so he's starting to run away at the moment. So as long as he can avoid getting penalties, he may be hard to beat.
Wonder if we'll see anyone on a 3-lap strategy. I'm just looking at J-Dub's fuel burn, and he's well under a quarter of the tank.
Apu's off.
Apu's off.
And J-Dub almost ran into him.
Just wait and see. I might try and see if we can catch that one, boys. We'll go back, and we've got Apu coming through. He's all by himself, so I can't see anyone being involved. See how he goes into the corner now. And he's just hit the dirt. He has really hit the dirty stuff on the marbles on the outside of that corner. It is all his own doing, unfortunately.
Yeah, wow. So J-Dub's just dived into the pits, so who's behind him? Untouchables is behind him as well. So they're running the 3-lap. Don't forget, if you run a 4-lap strategy, you're going to have to do at least 2 3s or 2 at the end. Or 2 somewhere, I should say. So it really is your choice, and that's the beauty of being able to run the 4 laps. You can mix up your strategies. You can do the 3 laps early, and also doing it now, it means if J-Dub's going to run 3 laps, he's got to take less fuel as well. So as we saw in Div 1, anything can happen with these strategies. It really was up and down race, and it's sort of until the final 2 laps where you really start to see how it plays out. Who's going to get another penalty there? Sorry.
Yep, there it is. It was a scary looking pack, I was going to say.
Oh, he was well on the other side of the white line.
Yeah, there's a bit of argy-bargy as they came through there. So
he's going to get another penalty, is he?
Oh, I might have just avoided it, but he is also glitching a little bit, so that's going to make Evil One's life a little bit difficult.
Yeah, Evil One with, 0.4 of a second to burn as well.
So these boys, they're all racing each other as they go 3 wide down the straight. Let's see if...
Apu's left the room.
Apu's just died.
Oh.
So that's his race done. So that's really unfortunate for Apu.
You did say he was glitching.
I was about to say that. Yeah, looks like he's had a connection error there. So bad luck for Apu, baby, because he was looking good there. He was looking racy.
He won't be happy at all. He was looking good. He's had internet issues all season. So that's really unfortunate, Apu. Bad luck, mate.
Yeah, I can hear that steering wheel bending from here. So
doing a ZD.
He's tried joining back in. Maybe he'll join us for a chat if we're lucky to see how he went. We have had a comment on YouTube at the moment, lads, about poor old Contagious can't catch a break. Can't keep it up with the big engine cars at the moment. He's back there in 11th again.
Yeah, so what's happened to him? He was making his way through, although he's pitted. That's what's happened.
Yep.
So he's gone lap 3.
Yeah. I've got to tell you, in Div 2 last week, Intrinsic in the Supra, man, he was super quick. He was on the podium. He finished 2nd. Super Dragon in his Supra, so there's nothing wrong with the speed of the Supra. Contagious needs to get his head down, concentrate, and he'll get there. Looking at his lap times at the moment, his lap 1, his lap 2, his lap 3, he hasn't had the best of runs so far. But just get his head down and he'll be right. It's a long race. We're only on our 4th lap, so anything's possible still.
Yeah, and I think Marchi also in a Supra took out a 3rd.
Yep, there you go.
So it's definitely strong. Contagious has picked up a 3.5 second penalty, so things are going from bad to worse for him.
Yeah, wow, that's a big penalty.
So Speedy, he's out in front, 5.5 second lead over Exo Flossie. Flossie then has almost a second lead over Corbin, but Corbin looks like he got a good run out of that last corner. So as he makes his way up into the Porsche S's, let's see if he can make some ground. I found that the Astons struggled a bit through the Porsche S's here.
Yeah,
they seem to have a little bit of understeer.
Massive. I spent some time in the other cars in preparation for the commentary session tonight, and I was amazed how much the Aston pushed. Like, really amazed.
You're making me feel better. I thought it was just my driving through there. Now I can blame the car.
Yeah, blame the car. A good driver always blames his car.
I think that it's probably one of the trickiest parts of this whole track.
Yeah.
You really do need to...
They're all coming in.
Braked really early then, Evil. That you're going to pull over and take a piss or something. You entered into the pit so slow. So it looks like the rest of the field's in. So who's out at the moment? We've got Untouchables in the Corvette. Now that thing is bloody fast in a straight line. For those who watched Div 1 tonight, Oil was just so hard to stay behind.
Because it's a rocket ship.
Oh, just like Shans and I were slipstreaming each other, and we were trying our best to just stay in front, but it was just impossible. That thing has got so much straight line speed.
Yeah, and he did well on the fuel as well.
But Oil always did, all season he's shown how he can fuel save and get great wear out of his tyres.
So Exo Flossie.
So Flossie's in first. So I don't know what happened to Speedy. Why is he so far back?
No, didn't Flossie...
Did he pit early?
Oh, okay. Flossie hasn't pitted.
That's what it is, yep.
Oh, no. He's taken fuel, but he didn't take tyres.
Yeah, let's look at it, because it says it's his out lap. His tyres are worn, and he's got 3 laps of fuel on board.
Yeah, so he hasn't taken any tyres. He's just taken fuel.
I think he's the first one I've seen do that.
He's the only one that's done it. I heard boys talking about it, but he's the only one that's done it. And look, the Mercedes is fairly good on its tyres, although he is showing a little bit of wear after 5 laps.
He is showing a bit of wear after 5 laps. I don't know if you can hang on to that for another 3. That'll be really interesting through the Porsche curves. And given the fact the penalties are so harsh, I mean, yeah, wow. It's brave. But you know what? I love it. You've got to roll the dice, don't you? I mean, you got to have a go at something different. And yeah, fair play to him. Good on your Exo.
You do.
Speedy's catching him pretty quick, though. I think he's gained about 4 or 5 tenths at least in the last sector. When
we started looking at this for a couple of weeks ago, this race, I actually did have half a think about running a medium tyre and doing exactly what Exo's done and not changing tyres, just grabbing a little bit of fuel. But I basically wasn't talked out of it. But I think the softer tyre was the quicker way to go. That's why I didn't do it.
Yeah, look, G and I gave it a go. We had a try on it, and it was really good for about 3 or 4 laps. But the mediums dropped off really quickly.
Yeah,
so once you passed that lap where you would have pit with the softs, the mediums really started dropping off drastically, where it was just better to change.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, the 4 laps on softs, I think there's no need for mediums.
Yeah, I think so too. I even though it's not, you're not going to save that much time. And the other reality is, any time you save, you're going to lose it in the penalty. Oh, as we see, Untouchables just straight into the back of Corbin there.
That hurt.
Wowee. Oh, man.
Wow.
So he's redressed there.
There you go. We've just had a comment from Super Dragon on YouTube as well, and I do remember now in our one of the races last week, Marchie Boy did the pit without changing tyres.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah, oh, there you go.
Good on you.
So Marchie
Thanks,
was
Super
the
Dragon.
trendsetter.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that accident has helped J-Dub out, so he's managed to catch up to the back of Corbin and Untouchables. So hopefully he can stay with this group, and as we see him run wide.
I'll tell you what, up front as well, looks like Speedy's taken about a 1.5 seconds, maybe 2 seconds out of Exo on this lap, so that's only going to increase.
Oh, I thought he
Thought
was
he was
going
coming in.
into the pits
Me
then.
too. I thought, wow, what's he doing?
He's using every ounce of track.
Well, he knows that's one place where you can't get a penalty for crossing the white line, so...
So, yeah, you would think that... well, we know that the Aston's faster in a straight line than what the Mercedes is. The Mercedes has got better corner speed, but with Flossie's tyres at the moment, he's got zero advantage, and I think that Speedy will have him by the end of this lap.
See, Touchables has also got past Corbin despite, readdressing there. So obviously Corbin was holding up Untouchables. He's got full lap less of fuel in the car, so he's only good for another 2 laps, Untouchable. So his car's a little bit lighter. His tyres are obviously a bit more worn. So, he'll be looking to pit at the end of lap 7. So he's sort of taken himself out of sequence as well.
And Corbin's also picked up a 2-second penalty too.
Well, speaking of penalties, gents, I don't know what's going on with Contagious, but he's just gone over the line carrying a 3.7 second penalty. I don't think he's been burning any of his penalties.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I don't know if he copped a knock or whatever it is. That's now for the stewards to work out.
G'day up you, baby. How are you, buddy? Yep.
Yeah, getting feedback up who?
Yeah, could you lower your
Sorry,
volume?
guys. Yeah, very disappointed. Got kicked from the server.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
you were
no
glitching
good.
a bit. You were glitching a fair bit before you got booted, unfortunately.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It was shocking.
Yeah, look, you were looking like you had some pace, so you've got to be fairly disappointed.
Very. It's starting to settle in. Now's the practice. Just settling into the top 3, and I was happy in the top 5. Just going to run the race to the last 2 laps and give it a good shot.
Yeah, your audio's still glitching a fair bit as well as you're talking
Yes.
there. So
All right, guys. Thanks very much. I'll jump out.
good on
Cheers,
you,
mate.
Apu.
Hard luck,
Yeah,
buddy.
unlucky, mate.
Go
Yeah,
team
bad
screw
luck.
loose.
Hey, thanks, guys. Take care.
Okay.
So
we're
just checking out some of the bios that the guys have done here. I'm looking at Exo Flossies.
Sorry,
As we
Corbin's
see, Corbin just go through Untouchables there, and still remains to go purple
and with a 1.6 second
with a
penalty to go.
1.6 second penalty.
Oh man.
So yeah, just looking at the bios here, and I've got Exo Flossie's bio in front of me, and he's saying that his hobbies include, but are not limited to, lunch and/or dinner. Pros: can eat an entire pizza in one sitting. Cons: can eat an entire pizza in one sitting. Is likely to be found sitting on the couch, wasting money on the horses or eating a Canetto, and/or mee goreng.
Oh wow.
Spent a lot more effort on this bio than he'd like to admit. So well done there, Flossie.
No, we just watched J-Dub come around that corner then. Had that in great view from the rear of the car. He's just gassed it up too much and totally lost it. He's lost a couple of spots through that one.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, so I've just jumped on with Hammy in 10th. He's found himself right behind Smurf at the moment as we see Apu leave the room.
I'll tell you what, guys, we're going to see a lead change in this next section because Speedy Tyres is all over the back of Flossie. Flossie's got no grip whatsoever, really.
Oh, God, again, he keeps fooling me, Speedy. I thought he was going into the pits again.
Oh, here he goes.
Oh.
He's got such a better drive.
Yeah, look, he'll make this move into the corner here.
Yeah.
You would think.
There's nothing Flossie can
No
do.
point fighting it, Flossie. You may as well just tuck him behind. Otherwise, you're going to do yourself an injury.
Yeah.
So the best thing Flossie can do at the moment is try to stay with him and then pit on lap 8, take tyres and go from there.
Yeah, look, rolled the dice. Fair play to Flossie, well done, mate. You probably earned yourself a pizza at the end of the race.
Yes.
So at least rolling the dice.
So yeah, look, Speedy and Flossie are our current leaders. Then there's a big gap, 11 second gap to Untouchables. So the top two boys are just starting to run away with this race.
Yeah, what's really interesting too, Rexy, is there's barely a slipstream to be found out there at the moment. I mean, everyone's pretty much out of the slips. I mean, even Exo's just out of Speedy's slip, but there's not a slipstream to be found. And as you know,
except Smurf and Hammy.
Yeah, Smurf and Hammy.
And with Contagious pushing hard, with the 3, he's going to pick up another penalty there. So it's now 4.2 as he runs wide. So Contagious just stacking up the penalties.
So Hammy's on the back of Smurf.
With nowhere else to go, I think that's probably the best place for Hammy to be. He could use that Aston to its maximum, because out there on himself, I'm not sure that little Subaru's got it for the rest of the track.
Yeah, I think you're right. He needs that Aston's for a tow, so like you're saying, that is definitely the best place for him. Tucked in the slipstream behind that Aston.
Yeah, look, if I was Hammy, I'd be content to sit behind there. There's such a huge gap between, 7th and 6th that these two may as well just partner up and see where they are, at, say, lap 20.
I think you and Shans proved what partnering up can do. I mean, you unfortunately had a spin on lap 1, which sort of compromised your entire race, but you guys raced really well together by just slipstreaming and bumping and bumping and bumping. By the time you got to lap 22, I think you'd made up, how many positions? Probably at least 5.
Yeah, look, we finished 8th and 9th, but, from my spin on the first lap, we were 20 seconds behind everybody. So to make up 20 seconds and then, take people as well, it just goes to show that, if you partner up and work as a team, then you can make up quite significant ground. If it wasn't for the pace of, the whole field, we probably would have found ourselves even closer to the front.
As we see Contagious splitting up Hammy and Smurf now, that little Subaru's quick as hell in a straight line. I hope for Contagious' sake, he's got his 4.2 second penalty. He's obviously coming in this lap because he's got 0 fuel, but he just needs to put his head down in that car. There's no reason why he can't get up there.
Yeah, look, what can you say? He's got 4 second penalty. He's not burning it at the moment, so I don't know if he's going to burn the bit up to the 3.7. I don't know why he hadn't burnt that penalty. He may have copped a bump and that's why he got it. But you'd think at least need to burn this half a second to a second penalty that he's got.
So Flossie's in. I dare say Untouchables are certainly coming in. Corbin will stay out for another lap. Troy HQ is going to stay out. Evil One will stay out. Smurf's out. Contagious is definitely coming in. Yeah.
Evil's out. Smurf, he'll stay out.
Corbin's got a 2.5 second penalty there he's just crossed the line with, so yeah, wow. I think he just got that in the chicane.
Yeah, look, I don't understand why they don't burn their penalties, but that's again for the stewards to sort out. So Troy has just picked up a penalty as well, half second, so that's no problem burning a half second penalty.
I think the fact of the matter is, and we said this during the Div 1 race, is that these divisions have had 2 weeks to practice, which you could argue can be a good thing. It can also be a bad thing, because you tend to overanalyse. But you certainly know where the track limits are by now. And the key to me racing last week was no penalties. Like, I just said to myself, I'd rather be slightly slower than picking up a 2 second penalty. And I did get one. I got a half second penalty, which is the only penalty I got during the race. And that half second penalty cost me 2 seconds to burn. So if you can race clean, it will be to your advantage. And the same track, we all race on the same track. So yeah, just try and keep it clean, boys.
Yeah, look, I agree. All you need to do is just probably slow it down just a fraction coming into to certain corners. But when you're racing, you do get that rush of blood sometimes, and you just can't help yourself.
You do. And the understeer in the cars plays a part. I see Speedy Tyres has got a 1.5 second penalty, which he copped in the first chicane down the Mulsanne straight. So he's noising a 1.5 second penalty. He does have a 17 second lead. So if anyone can afford to cop penalties at the moment, it's certainly Speedy's probably it. But yeah.
Yeah, so look, the top three have got penalties at the moment. So Speedy with a 1.5, Corbin with a 2.2, and Troy with a 0.4. So Troy, you know, if I was him, I would be rolling into this corner and burning it. It's the best way to burn penalties, I've found.
Like lift now, lift.
Yeah, I'd be lifting. Yep. It'll be burnt by about here.
Yeah, I'd love to see Troy get a great result tonight. He's a great competitor, Troy, and I know that. It's tough in that McLaren, that's for sure. It's funny, you know. I tell you what, we did try the McLaren F1 here, and everyone's going, ZD particularly, how come no one picked this car? It's a friggin' rocket ship.
We've got a pretty good train forming down for 8th, guys, with Smurf, Untouchables, Hammett to the Bone, and I think it might be...
Altruistic Straw.
That's the one. Well done. 2 Corvettes, a Subaru and an Aston.
Yeah, well, these Corvettes will be on the back of Hammy in no time. They've got so much straight line speed.
Nice looking car too. I do love the Corvette and the sound of it.
It does. It does sound good, looks good. So, you don't want to be making a move there. So, you know, Smurf's doing a good job here. He's been in front of Hammy for a while now.
Yeah, Smurf's put in a lot of practice. You know, we had a couple of racing lobbies with him earlier, and he's a fair old competitor. Smurf's been around a while. Wily old fox.
Yeah, look, Smurf's a great competitor. He loves his racing. You know, he's always out there giving it his all. So hopefully he has a good result here tonight.
Yeah, I reckon Untouchables is on a bit of a mission at the moment. You know, he had a couple of mistakes early. Looks like he's settled into the race. He's found the speed. Hammy's going to have to go in this lap. He's going to have no choice. Just tag. Untouchables.
Smurf just touched the wall, which Untouchables looked like he was going to run into the back of him. So instead of braking, he tried to swerve and just put himself into it, but that's all right. You know, he's recovered well. So let's see if Smurf goes into the pits here. Untouchable stays out. We have Hammy into the pits. So Hammy and Ultralistic Straw have decided to stay out.
Are these guys both slip dream
in the lead?
Hey,
in the Corvettes?
Couldn't tell you. Let's have a look.
I believe Youthful Straw or whatever it is, but I'm not sure about Untouchables.
I'll just go in and have a look. But we've got Flossie in the lead now, so he's got a 1.1 second lead over Speedy Tyres with fresh rubber.
Yeah, wow. He's only got 2 laps of fuel in there, so he's going to have to come back in. He's obviously doing a 3-lap strategy. Speedy Tyres has filled it up, so he'll be on the 4-lap up there. So that'll be...
So this is Div 3, isn't it? So...
Yeah.
God, I can't even see him. So were they Div 6 guys to start off with? D-League. Untouchables, here we go. Yeah, Untouchables is part of Slip Dream.
There you go, so both of them putting in the...
And so they both are. Both teamed up with Slip Dream.
Well, Fine Moves is going to be loving that.
Yeah. He will, but look, it doesn't matter where they're finished because Team Vintage has taken it out.
I just thought you'd want that lead in there. Here, let me show the team's leaderboard for you fellas, seeing as... Here you go, it's up. Who wants to talk us through that one?
Well, the captain can do it for us.
Is he there? He's gone out for a cup of tea.
There you
Sorry,
go.
I was talking. Then I had mute for a second while I grabbed another beer, and I didn't unmute it, and I'm talking away. So, and I was saying, "No, Rexy, you go for it. I've been talking us up all year. You need to, you know."
Okay, I'm just bringing it up. So that's lobbies, leaderboards. Okay, so if we go to the leaderboards, we have with an outright victory, all done and dusted, is Team Vintage. So we finished with 16,456 points. That will get adjusted after this race, but we've got a lead of over 1,000 points, and I think no one can come from there. So second would be Slip Dream, with third being the Zoologists. So I don't know if this is right, but this may be the first time that Fine Move's team has not won the competition.
I believe I've heard that.
But we think Fine Moves took out Premier League, because we don't think Piper, even though he didn't race tonight, we don't think Piper finished far enough up the order to get the points that he was needing. So we have to wait till all the numbers are crunched. But Super Dragon and myself were talking, or Super Dragon was doing the maths quickly, I should say, and we think Fine Moves has taken it out for Premier League.
And that's that leaderboard there I'm just showing. So Piper's only, what is he at? He looks like he's just under 100 points behind at the moment, thereabouts.
So
Yeah.
Piper finished in 6th position, I believe, tonight.
Yeah, so we don't think that's enough. But look, well played to Fine Moves, well played to Piper. But going back to the team's points, how good Team Vintage. Thank you very much, boys.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic season. And if we quickly look at Div 2, you're going to see that there's a clear winner in Div 2 this year too, boys. I can't quite read the name there.
Oh, Rex Buckingham 46.
Oh, that's right. It was me.
Yeah, that's right. It was you. But what I loved about Div 2 was Dale Teeks is in second and Vintage Racer, myself in third. So being Team Vintage top 3 in Div 2.
Yeah,
so,
right. You can just stop now.
Okay.
You're embarrassing yourselves, all right? Let's
Okay.
get back to
Sure.
Speedy Tyres here, who has had Flossie right on his bumper, and he's got a 0.5 seconds penalty to burn yet. So
And Flossie's got a 0.8 to burn as well.
Look, I'm not feeling embarrassed at all.
Hey, look, I love the competition in wheel to wheel. I think whether it be the teams championship or the individual stuff and the divisions, it's fantastic racing. We're all here to get points. We're all here to try and be at the top, but most importantly, here to have fun. And it has been a great fun season. I've really, really, really enjoyed this season.
Yeah, I totally agree. I really enjoy my racing in wheel to wheel. This will be my second full season, I believe. Or no, third full season? No. Yeah, second full season. I did a half season prior to that. But yeah, I've loved it. And look, if you are interested in joining us for around season 7, which will be in the new year, head to our Facebook page and look for the Wheel to Wheel Racing League or page, and then click the sign up button.
Yeah, I've been involved since season 2, so I first joined in season 2. The league wasn't anywhere near as big as it is now. It was still great racing back then, but yeah, I love the way every year it evolves. Every year it's something different because the members have the choice to vote, and that means that in the off season, when the polls start coming out, make sure you have your say. I know we've got Christmas and holidays, and if you're in Sydney, you'll have nothing else to do because you'll be under COVID lockdown for the entire holiday period. But make sure you get your vote. Have your say. Put in your suggestions. Give it some thought. What would you like to see? What sort of series would you like to create? And write it in, and if it makes the cut, it will get voted on. And that's the beauty of Wheel to Wheel, is it gets voted on by the members. So it's what we want as a collective. And the season, and it's growing. We're growing massively. I think the interesting in the off season, there was a lot of debate around damage, full damage, and no damage. And full damage is won by a single vote, or it was last time I saw it. Might have changed by now, but it was a single vote between the difference. So it looks like we're going to go full damage for the off season in Group 192 cars.
I think we just finalised one that we're all going to be in Formula 1 cars while Team Vintage are in go-karts.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, that's going to work. I think that'll work well.
That's going to be embarrassing for everyone else.
Yeah, just use that slipstream. We'll be fine. And the beauty of being in the go-kart is we don't have to change gears.
Oh, look. So Speedy's got this 4 second 0.4. Is he going to burn it? Come on, Speedy, get rid of this
Yeah,
penalty.
he'll burn it just here. Flossie just burned a penalty.
Yeah, there he goes.
That's why
Yeah.
he's dropped so far back.
Well, Flossie's in
He's
the pit
gone
slot.
in.
He's got no choice there.
So Untouchables, let's see where he goes. He stays out.
I tell you what, Untouchables has done a great job tonight so far. He's been a little bit unlucky, but he's going to find himself in second here. If he can just keep it smooth. He's got some great lap times there. You know, his last lap there was a 57. He's done some. Let me just bring up his chart.
It was rumoured he was going to have a chat to us tonight. Do we know if he's on chat for us tonight? You there, Untouchable?
I think he's going to jump in at the end of the race. I think
there you
he
go.
actually jumped out. He was going to, but too much of a distraction.
Yeah.
So just jump onto fourth at the moment. We've got Troy who's pushing hard. He's got Flossie in his sights. He's only 1.1 second behind Flossie at the moment. So Troy is pretty consistent. Oh, is he going to pick up a penalty there though?
Wowee.
As he just turned in that little bit too soon. He tried to correct it, and it looks like he's gotten away with it.
Just.
So we got Troy chasing down Flossie. We've also got Corbin chasing down Troy. So Corbin is just in Troy's slip now. He's at that 0.7. So he'll start reeling Troy in. But if these guys can work together, they'll be on top of Flossie in no time. Oh! So Corbin, he started off well. He made a few mistakes and picked up some penalties, but he's slowly working his way back into the groove. So he's sitting in fifth at the moment, and let's see if he does give Troy a bit of a bump, or is he going to make a move here?
No,
Yeah, he
wisely
just backs
steps
out of
it.
Yeah, same as with mine in the Aston. I was more content to back out than give the bump. I just tried to save that bit of fuel rather than get that little more speed. I thought in the long run, especially with that thirsty car, that'd be the best option.
Yeah, look, I just stick my nose right up the backside and just sniff away.
Oh, he said you're a bit of a dog Rex, eh? Dog with a bone, eh?
Yeah. Look, I just found that, you know, it worked really well. And I actually like racing really close to the car behind me. I find that it makes me focus a lot more, and I like putting pressure on the guy in front of me. Now, obviously, tonight, racing with Shans, you know, there was no pressure on him because, you know, we were teamed up, so I was never going to try to make a move on him.
You'd also done enough practice and Shans knew what you were like, so he could trust you behind him 100%.
Yeah, you know, he didn't have to think about if I was going to brake or not. He just trusted that I was going to.
Yep.
Which, you know, that is a huge thing when you've got somebody right up your backside.
It is. It really is. It's absolutely crucial that you got that trust there. And it does mean that the guy behind you, using that slip, you can lift a bit early, you can coast into corners. BMW particularly, it's really great for making up the gap under brakes. So
Yeah.
you just release your release your brake a little bit and catch them up.
Yeah, look, I thought Div 1 tonight was a prime example of how to do it. You know, you had Captain and Adam and, you know, Shans and I and Oil and Piper and Dale. You know, we were all utilising each other's slipstream to try to just squeeze that extra bit of speed out of each lap. And I think, you know, most people's laps would have been 56s the whole time. I think Captain did a 54, which is incredibly fast in racing conditions.
I'm just looking at Contagious, who's about to go in the pit lane with 7 seconds worth of penalties.
Wow.
Yeah.
Here's
Poor
the real
bugger.
competition. He's trying to rack up as many as he can for the end.
Yeah.
Is there a prize for it? Because he's got to be leading.
Yeah, definitely. Speedy Tyres has just hit a purple sector in the first sector as well. So his fastest lap so far is a 56.0, which is pretty much Div 1 race pace.
Yeah, look, 56.0, that's a nice pace.
It is.
With no slip.
It is a nice pace. Like he's been, 56s, 57s. So yeah, he's doing really well out there on his own, just running his own race, hitting his markers lap after lap, and yeah, all good for him.
Yeah, look, I think the race at the moment is probably with between Corbin, Troy and Flossie. They seem to be the closest on track, and then you've probably got Hammy and Smurf still working together. So Hammy's found himself on the back of Smurf yet again.
Yeah, well, Exo just burned a penalty just now, and that's allowed Troy sort of back in, whether he's close enough or not, exiting this first chicane on the Mulsanne straight. Just a bit too greedy on the throttle, which is never gonna help you.
Oh, Hammy's just picked up a 1.5 second penalty.
Yeah, I tell you what, Corbin's catching Troy HQ there, so the battle for second, third, and fourth is gonna compress here shortly. Even
Troy...
one's not too far away, but he's got a 3.5 second penalty, so pretty much out of the mix there with that.
Troy just stepped out the back of the McLaren as he came out of that chicane, so that just gave Corbin the opportunity to get a good run onto Troy here. So he's well in that slipstream range now, and he should either make a move or
one thing I'll say here, Rexy, is just looking the difference between Div 1 and Div 3, or Premier League and Div 3 tonight, is just watching Troy HQ. He's using a lot more road, so his tyres are in the dirty part of the track, which does have a big impact on your level of your corner grip, your mid-corner grip and your corner exit. So if you just keep an eye on Troy HQ here, he's using probably a little bit too much track. One of the big things that we sort of concentrated on, and Dale Teeks was all over it, was you've got to stay off the dirty part of the racetrack. It doesn't help you. It just kicks up dirt, like as we see there, and down the Mulsanne straight particularly. It's not great as Rexy cracks another beer.
I'll tell you what, we've also had another shout out from Super Dragon, who's asking to read Untouchable's bio.
Okay, read Untouchable's bio. Okay, not a problem, I can do that. So just bear with me for a second, fellas, as we see Corbin all over the back of Troy.
Oh!
Troy stepped it out. Oh, has he saved it? No, he hasn't. He spun. That's really
Troy.
unlucky there, Troy.
We had that on camera.
That is really unlucky.
Yeah.
So I'm just going into the bios now.
Poor old Troy won't be going for gold tonight. Might be a slightly tarnished tin, but yeah.
Yeah, that's really unlucky. He was looking fairly comfortable at the moment.
He was looking good. I was saying about using slightly too much racetrack here at Sarth. It just gets a little bit dirty offline. You get dirty tyres. You lose your braking grip. You lose your mid-corner grip. You lose your acceleration grip. So it certainly doesn't pay to get too wide.
Okay.
So Speedy's in pit lane as well. So Exo stayed out. Oh man, he's using every millimetre of the track on the exit, coming onto the straight. Yeah, so Exo inherits the lead. This will be his in lap. Oh, this is Speedy Tyres out lap.
Yeah, so Untouchable's bio. Touchy balls, touchy. Real name is Sam, living in the nation's capital. He says it's not as bad as people say it is. He's 24 years of age, and is a huge fan of motorsport, especially the Group 3s, TCR and the WEC. He joined Wheel to Wheel at Interlagos in Season 5 and has enjoyed every moment since. His PSN is part of his futsal team, Untouchables, and part of one of the best GT car platforms in the world, the Porsche 911 RSR. Need a reason to love the Porsche? Go watch Gian Maria, I think it is. Pole lap at Le Mans in 2018 or any Cup car round. He's looking forward to whatever the format may be for Season 7 and hopefully that elusive appearance in Div 1.
Yeah.
Awesome. And through all that, he managed to pick himself up a 2-second penalty as well, so nothing like a good commentator's curse there.
He also did do a purple sector there. I was noticing that too. Where is he? Untouchables.
In third.
So, just checking out one of our commentators' bios at the moment. I've got Footner's here. So, Footner, he's 27 years of age, from South Australia. The ladies call him Hey You in the Bushes. But you can call me Footlong. Recently finished an engineering degree in mechanical engineering, and is getting ready to gear up for a big Season 7 and finally take out the outright points win. So, that's a cracking bio there, Footner.
It is a cracking bio. Hey, you in the bushes.
Hey, you in the bushes. I love that. That's awesome.
I don't know what he's doing in those bushes. I hate to imagine.
In the bushes with a foot long, yeah, just leave it.
Oh, yeah. No, it's good. It's good to have Footner back. We missed him.
Yes, it was good to see him in commentary again, and it's good to see him back racing. So he would have raced tonight, I believe, in Div 6, so I'm assuming he won and won by a lot. He was very fast in that Lambo.
He was very fast in that Lambo, wasn't he? That Lambo was a very interesting choice too. Not a car. Oh, what was that?
I think he chose it because of the speed that he had in the Group 4 around Spa, and then he just was like, okay, I'm in the Lambo now. But it was all for a good showing at Spa, I believe.
Well,
Contagious
has left.
Yeah.
I tell you what, Hammy took us literally earlier. He is still on Smurf's bum. He's so far up Smurf's bum, he's going to have a blue bonnet on that car soon.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, look, Hammy's just driving a great race at the moment. He knows he doesn't have that straight line speed, but he's letting Smurf just dragging him around. Which is how you do it round here.
I'll tell you what, Speedy's got a 18.5 second lead. He's just run away with it.
Yeah, look, Speedy could pit and do an extra pit and still be in front, I think.
Yeah. In fact, that's not a bad strategy, Rexy. In fact, I wouldn't mind betting that's exactly what he's doing. So, look at his fuel burn. It looks like he's gone for a 3-lappers now.
Well, he may as well. He's got so much speed over the rest of the group. But we've also got now Flossie and Corbin. So Corbin is only a second off Flossie and pushing hard.
I think
Untouchables is got a 6-second lead over Flossie. Just picked up a 2-second penalty though.
Bugger.
I'm seeing as far back at the moment, but anyway.
Yeah, some similarities between these 5, 4 and 3 divisions, where the winners of these divisions, whether it's been 1 or 2 of the guys in the cars, are winning by a big amount. So it might be about, on this long race, it's 30 to 40 seconds they're winning the races by. So I expect to see a lot of these guys move up a division or 2 for next season. And I know Fine Moves has been working hard as well, crunching the numbers, trying to come up with a formula. So the races are a bit closer. Throw them in there with V8 supercars. They're doing the same thing to try and get their cars closer too.
What's going to happen is you can't just turn up now and get thrown into the lower lobbies. You'll go into your own lobby now, all the newcomers. A lot of the guys were just using the lower lobbies as stepping stones and it wasn't fair on the guys that were doing their best week in, week out in those lobbies. So we've sort of just the administration team's had a long, hard look at it. They've taken a lot of feedback on board and just decided to create a separate couple of lobbies for the new guys, so they can battle it out amongst themselves without really doing trophy hunting, taking podiums away from people that race hard each week and deserve to stand on the podium. And I think it should be applauded. I think it's a great move.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that it's a great move that they've made. I agree that especially the guys that were in those lower divisions, and we're seeing guys bounce in and out and just stealing the wins from them. Speedy's a prime example of it. He's essentially a Div 2 driver. You can see he's got blue mirrors. He just hasn't been racing all season. That's why he's sitting back in Div 3 right now. But he's a Div 2, possibly even a Div 1 driver. So
yeah, exactly.
There's a reason why he's 19 seconds in front of Untouchables at the moment.
Yeah, and we're just trying to even it out, and that's what it's all about. Is just balancing it out. Everyone loves that winning feeling, the first, second or third standing on the podium. It's an accomplishment, which is something we're all aiming for. That's why we're racing. We're not racing to finish last. You're racing to finish first. So, yeah, it's nice for those guys just to be able to taste the champagne. And Speedy, if he wants to be a privateer and come and go as he pleases, he'll be able to race with a group of guys that's probably more suited to himself.
Yeah. Look, just on board with Untouchables at the moment. He's driving a really nice race here, and I've got to say, Untouchables, he's improving with every race. Like, I think he started with us last season, and yeah, he's getting better every race. He's a bit like ZD, just keeps improving.
Yeah. We've had a couple of guys this year that have done really well. ZD, Untouchables, Suit Lad's another one who's done exceptionally well. A Div 3 racer this race tonight in Premier League. And fair play. You put in the effort, you put in the practice, put in the miles, and you get to benefit from it. So I was talking to a friend of mine recently who was running in another competition, and I just said to him, you've got to practice, mate. If you don't practice, you just won't do well. And when I say practice, I don't mean half an hour here, half an hour there. I said, you've got to put in hours. I said, we do a lot of practice during the week in Team Vintage. You'll find us on probably most afternoons, and that's what you've got to do. You've just got to practice if you want to be competitive.
Yeah, look, take this track, for example. I think when I jumped on, and I didn't get to practice much before qualifying, that's why I really relied on Shans to drag me around for a decent time. I could barely get into the 58s when I first jumped on, and that was in qualifying settings.
I will say, and I know we were joking around before with Team Vintage, taking top honours, but in all honesty, I believe the reason we did that was because we practiced as a team. We practiced together, and we helped each other through an entire season. And we actually helped some other members as well. So if you really want to take your team racing seriously as well as your individual racing, you have to practice as a group. And we were fortunate that we had a really good group that we were able to practice together, and it really did pay dividends. So my advice to anyone if we're doing team racing again in season 7 will be pick a night where you guys can all get together as a team and practice and help each other.
Yeah, and I've said it before with you guys as well, because I've dropped in on a few of those sessions inspired on you like everyone else. And I almost called you as the Mighty Ducks. When you guys get in there and train and practice, you are bumper to bumper, one train in flying in formation sort of thing. And that's how you guys train and practice, and it just looked awesome, and you could tell that's why you were getting the wins. Yeah,
absolutely. That BMW that we picked, we went for one car this year. I know we opened it up and we could have picked 2 manufacturers, but we just decided as a team to all be in the same car. And by being in the same car as a group, it meant that we were able to measure each other, measure ourselves, so we knew that if Rexy was the quickest in the team, or Shan or Dale, that was the benchmark, and we were able to aim for that benchmark. But if you're in different cars in a team, it's a bit more difficult. But each to his own. Other teams every other team picked 2 manufacturers, which you could do. And the idea behind that was to try and pick cars that suited you as a driver, rather than being stuck in something that you didn't really enjoy driving. We were just fortunate that we picked the BMW, and it worked to our advantage, or we made it work to our advantage, I should say.
Yep. Yeah, and you did mention Dale there. I want to shout out to Dale. He is, like, I've only been with Wheel to Wheel for this season. I come in the off season, and quite honestly, Dale is, I'd almost consider him the dynamo of Wheel to Wheel. He is everywhere, trying to help out, doing everything, and not only doing that, he has become a really quick racer in the process as well. He just raced in the Div 1 Premier League before this race tonight. Unfortunately, had a real hard night, and I know he would have been really disappointed with that. But Dale, don't be too disappointed about it, man, because I think there's big things to come, and you're a great asset to Wheel, so congratulations, buddy.
I said to Dale tonight, just on the track before I joined in, is their Div 1 times, even Dale's times, were faster than I think all but Speedy Dragon, Super Dragon, beg your pardon, Speedy Dragon, Super Dragon's times. So the Div 1 times tonight were very impressive, like all the way through the field, like very impressive times. So he shouldn't be too hard on himself. He did a really good job, and he did it pretty much on his own the whole race with no slipstream, and that's something to be, something to think about in that BMW that doesn't have a great top end. So he's done a really good job.
Yeah, look, Dale's come such a long way in such a short amount of time. Like, that was his first full season this year in Wheel to Wheel. And yeah, he gets faster and faster every week. I've really enjoyed racing with Dale and having him as a teammate this year. And yeah, as you said, Dodgy, he's got his fingers in everything in Wheel to Wheel. He loves it. And, we're really lucky to have somebody like Dale, and Fire Moves as well, who devote so much time into making Wheel to Wheel what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a members community. I mean, you can get as involved as much or as little as you like. I think the stewarding process now, with the members now stewarding, anyone can get involved, and everyone should. You should have a look. I mean, I really think clean racing is important. We don't like doing the dailies because you get belted and busted up, and that's what Wheel to Wheel's about. It's clean racing, and get involved. Everyone should get involved, definitely. So
just to interrupt for the moment, we've got Corbin. He's on the back of Untouchables at the moment, so in battle for fourth. So Untouchables has come out of the pits. Corbin's probably going to have to pits. Oh no, he's on a 3-lap by the look of him.
So that's yeah, you're right. Untouchables it's a good strategy. So he's gone a lap early.
Yeah,
so
he looks
coming
like
at the end of 15. So I would have said the end of 16 if you're going to do 3 and 3 for your last.
He's going to do a 4 and a 3.
Yeah, he's going to do a 4 and a 3. Because you can break it up anywhere. What's Speedy looking at? So Speedy's going to come on in the end of this lap as well. So Speedy will come in. I wouldn't mind betting he'll do a 3 and 3 and flog that Aston.
Yeah, he's like 27-second lead now. He's just running away.
Yeah, he's running away with it. He's been doing his 3-lap strategy. Exo Flossie, he's going to have to pit this lap as well. So he'll do a 3 and 3 at a guess. Evil One, another one who's going to pit.
Just watching Corbin there, it looked like he was going to... so Untouchables has just burned his penalty.
Yeah, made him a slot. Did he burn his penalty or make him slot?
Yeah, he just burned it as he come around the corner, look.
Yeah, right.
I don't understand why they burn them in these places. They should be doing it like down those long straights under the braking zones. I found was probably the most economical way to burn a penalty. In practice throughout the week, I can pick up a 1.5-second penalty at the top of the straight and burn it all just through those 2 chicanes in the last corner.
Untouchables has got enough. He's got
Norman!
Wow.
Just showing his rally driving abilities there. He's hung that one out, or his drifting abilities.
I reckon it was at 16, 17, 19, throw 3 laps at the end.
So Flossie's still sitting pretty in second place. He's got a 10-second lead over Evil One. So the Mercedes have found themselves in second and third. So Evil One, he's been the quiet achiever tonight. He's suddenly come from, I thought he was back in about 7th, so he's up in 3rd, although he does have to pit this lap.
Yep, here comes Flossie.
Flossie's in. Flossie's in. Yeah, Evil's coming in.
So Flossie, Speedy, Evil.
Corbin.
So Corbin will stay out. He'll come in on lap 20, you would think.
No, he'll come in at the end of 18.
19? 18?
18.
Oh, yeah, sorry,
18.
yeah.
Yeah, he'll come in the end of 18. He should be able to get 4 laps out of it to the end, so Corbin will fuel to the end. Might not be a bad strategy, actually, with Corbin, to be honest. I reckon that could be a thing. I think Corbin, looking at what he's got to do now, he's got 2 laps worth of fuel, so that gets him to the end of 18. He'll fuel up. Well, he won't have enough. He's got 18. I guess he will. 18, so that gives him... Yeah, he'll be able to get 4 laps out of it.
I'm actually shocked at Speedy Tyres' speed. To be, you know, Corbin, I would have picked to be up the pointy end of the table. But really, Speedy Tyres has just left him off dead. He's still 11 seconds ahead of Flossie, and he's 16 seconds ahead of Corbin, and Corbin didn't pit.
I think the thing is the mistakes early. I think there's too many mistakes made early in this race by too many people. I know Corbin actually made a couple of mistakes, comp penalties. And that's where it really hurts you towards the end.
Yeah, he picked up a string of penalties at the start there, and you know, it's really hard to get those back. Also, he's probably made a couple of like little errors. But you can't take anything away from Speedy. You know, he's a division above these guys, really, and that's why you're seeing him running away the way he is.
Yeah, Flossie's picked up another half.
Even on these guys' best days, if they made 0 mistakes, they still wouldn't be able to keep up with Speedy, I don't think.
I've enjoyed racing Speedy over the seasons in wheel to wheel. He's a great fun guy to race with. A hard racer, young guy, really young. I'm sure he hates getting beaten by the old man, but anyway.
Yeah, he's shown plenty of pace. I just saw Corbin go purple. So he's on a bit of a flyer at the moment.
Yeah, that's his second purple sector. I got to be honest, you know, Div 1, Division 2, towards the end of the race, that's when you start to see the purples. Like, people really pushing towards the end.
Yeah, look, with Captain's 154.3, whatever it was, his fast time, that was a hard time to beat. He got that in slipstream earlier on in the race. And that was just an outstanding time.
Just noticing, guys, we've got 26 viewers out there at the moment at this time on YouTube. Just a reminder to you to all smash like for us. Hit that thumbs up and get more attention out there to Wheel on YouTube.
Yeah, give it a share.
Did I just see Untouchables just go spearing off at the end of the straight?
Yes, you did.
Yep, he's off into the wall and he's just sitting there, so I don't know what happened.
I'll see if I can find him.
Maybe his controller unplugged. He's sitting in 4th, now 5th.
Here
so
we
he's
go.
just
I'm on with him
and
now in
he's
a
gone.
replay.
He's left.
So I reckon he's glitched out.
Yeah, oh, that's harsh for Untouchables. He was having a really good race. Looking forward to it. Yep, he's just.
He was looking real good.
So it looks like I reckon you're right, Rexy. I reckon he's done a disconnect.
Yeah, I reckon he
man.
internet issues. That's really unfortunate. He was looking good for a podium.
Geez, had a few tonight. A few internet issues.
Yeah. Well, Apu, you know, there's not a race that's gone by that he hasn't almost dropped out.
Just
He's
so
got the worst
unfortunate.
internet. Yeah, he's really unlucky. And I know he's tried to do a couple of different things and change providers, but yeah.
The only other one worse was our mate Tug, our teammate Tug.
Yes, yeah.
Tug had a shocker in internet in
Tug,
South Africa.
South African internet's not that great.
It's funny, we keep on going on about how diverse the people in Wheel to Wheel are, but I think the internet values are even more diverse in Wheel to Wheel.
Yes. Look, big let's start that again. Big shout out to our sponsors, Races World, as well. It's their first season with us, and without them, we couldn't be bringing these live streams to you. So thank you very much, Races. Hopefully, we continue with you through into season 7.
Yes, absolutely. How's your Hyundai racing going, Dodgy?
Slowly. I tell you what, if you want to see a good Hyundai, jump onto and I hate to give plugs to other people, but jump onto the final episode of Enforcer and the Dude, and at the very end, they have a 888 Race Engineering built Hyundai XL. If you want to buy one of those suckers for a little XL, it'll cost you 30 grand to get it on a racetrack.
Really?
That's just
That's
to
a
buy
lot
a
of money.
Hyundai XL. I looked at it and went, yeah, there's no beating that. It's a very nice machine.
Yeah, I'm sure it is for 30 grand.
Yep.
How much was yours?
500 to buy, and then probably a lot of man hours and maybe a couple of grand just doing roll cages and whatnot. So we started at rock bottom and built it all ourselves, and we're proud of where we got to with it, and we're in the middle of building another one too. So that's a part of the fun of it, not just going out and buying a whiz banger.
Mate, a man of your ability, you'd be racing up there with 888, no problem.
Yeah, that's me.
So just on board with Hammy at the moment. He is all over the back of Smurf at the moment. He's just given Smurf a bit of a nudge as they've come down the straight here. But Hammy and Smurf have been bumper to bumper this whole race. So, and with only 4 laps to go, let's see if Hammy eventually makes a move. But who's that in front of him? J-Dub. So J-Dub's got 0.3 of a penalty. So potentially Smurf and Hammy could catch him.
Absolutely.
Kudos to Smurf too. He's run a real clean race this race. He's been going just nice and smooth. It's good to see him out there having a good race. Sometimes he's in a bit of the wars, but he's really let it shine tonight. So good on you, Smurf.
So just jump on board with Corbin at the moment.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
Exo just ran wide, and Corbin is right up his clacker now. So
Yeah, but Corbin's going to have to pit this lap. He's got no fuel.
oh yeah, so that's going to throw that out.
So, but don't forget, this is where Corbin can be smart. I mean, what are we going to do? He's going to pit at the end of 18. He can fuel it for what, 19, 20, 21, 22, 4 laps. He won't need to pit again.
Yeah. And yeah, Flossie's going to have to, but less time in the pits for Flossie.
You know who's also going to have to pit again? If Corbin's actually really smart. You know, even though Speedy Tyres has got a 16, 17 second lead, if Corbin doesn't pit again and Speedy Tyres does, yeah, wow, that's going to make it really interesting. As Speedy Tyres just sets the fastest lap then, did he? Yes, he did.
Yeah, 355.9, so that's
I reckon
great
Speedy
driving
Tyres
there
is
by
onto
Speedy.
this.
Oh, Corbin, he's hit the wall on the way into the pit. Hope he doesn't get a penalty.
That's how hard Corbin's pushing as well. So I bet you he takes off, fuels it right up. I bet he goes for the full 4 laps here.
So Corbin in his beautifully turned out Aston. I believe all his cars he likes to do off old Formula 1 teams. So he always turns out a nice livery, and this year's been no exception.
No, it looks awesome.
So Troy is now sitting in 4th, recovered after his spin. He's going to have to pit probably
So
next lap.
Yep. So Corbin's fully fueled. He's good to go to the end of the race now.
And he's come out right behind Troy.
He's 47 seconds back. I think that's too big a ask.
So what Speedy Tyres is going to... He's going to have to pit. You would think he hasn't got 3 laps in him.
Yeah, there's no way. So Speedy's going to come in at the end of...
And Flossie will be in this lap.
Speedy will come at the end of 20, I would have thought.
Yeah, I mean, Speedy could come in at the end of 20 and
He'll have to.
go for 2.
Yep. But there's no way in the world Corbin's close enough to make that up.
No.
Tyres and
Speedy's
fuel, what
got
do we
this in
look
the
at
bag.
here? About 25, 26 seconds, is that correct? I can't remember.
Yep.
Yeah, something like that. It's one thing I didn't look at for this race because I knew everyone would have to fill up.
Actually, when I raced, I don't think I ever filled to the brim. I was always around 90%. And that was doing 4 laps.
Yeah, look in the Beamer. So what we were doing, we were all putting in 95%, and then for our 3 lap stints, we were doing 74.
Yep.
And that would see you going into the pits, depending on whether you were sitting in someone's slipstream between, say, 0.5 and 0.2 left.
I don't think there's any point, Speedy Tyres will get this, but will Exo take second?
Look, I think he's going to go into the pits, and I know that Corbin was right behind him, but he doesn't need to take on as much fuel as what Corbin did, so
That's
he'll
right.
probably be at least 3 seconds in front of him. But if Troy makes a mistake, then Corbin might be able to get into his slip here. So he's just 1.5 off him at the moment. And just an update, Hammy is still behind Smurf.
Come on, Hammy. Get it done, buddy. No offense,
And look,
Smurf.
he's another one, he's fantastic in wheel-to-wheel, Hammy. He does half the bloody guys' liveries in wheel-to-wheel, I think.
Yeah.
He loves doing liveries, and he's always happy to help.
I think
You'll
he had a
always
bio
see him
there
in
too, didn't
Hammy, he does have a bio. Let's have a look and see what Hammy's bio is.
So Speedy's just jumped in. The
you
Speedy's
go.
jumped in now.
Yeah, so Speedy's come in now, but he's got so much time. I mean, he'll be fine.
Flossie's in.
So Flossie's in. So let's jump on with Corbin and see if we can see Flossie.
Corbin's fair way back at the moment. He's not even at the second last
Yeah,
chicane.
Flossie's out now, isn't he? No.
No, still in.
Flossie's still pitted in. Speedy's one's out now, so Speedy's killed it. Absolutely brained it.
So
He won't need to
Corbin's
stop
coming
again.
through.
Oh, wow.
So
Speedy's got a
Flossie is still in the
51
pits.
second lead.
So Flossie is still in the pits.
Oh, Flossie's got to be out in front, surely. He's been in there for a long time. There, he's
He is
out.
So
Just.
Corbin, so Corbin's right up his clacker.
Yeah. So the battle for
So
seconds on. Corbin's
I don't know how much fuel Flossie put in, but
Yeah, Flossie's all
he's
good.
put in too much fuel.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
He's put in 3 laps worth of fuel.
That's what's left. 3 laps. 20, 21, 22.
Like
That's 3 laps.
he should have at least been.
I think he has overfueled it, but
Yeah, I
sometimes
reckon
that's not such a silly strategy because don't forget the fuel will only tell you the average burn, and if you decide to put plenty more in, if you decide to put the accelerator down a bit harder, you're going to burn more fuel.
Look, race on now between Corbin and Flossie.
Yep.
Yeah. Corbin needs to plant that Aston fairly on the exhaust of that Merc and leave it there for 2 laps.
Yeah, I would sit behind Flossie now, try to pressure him into a mistake, and then make a move on the last lap. The Aston's probably got enough straight line speed to make a move under slipstream. I don't think the AMG could pass him even if he wanted to with the slipstream.
How'd we go with Hammy? Any luck finding his bio?
Yeah, I'm just looking for it now.
Well, he's past Smurf.
There you
Is he?
go. Oh,
Yep.
Smurf's
That's
trying
outstanding.
back.
Oh,
Smurf's coming back. Here he is,
Untouchables
Untouchables.
Hey
What
boys.
happened?
I'm running off wireless hotspot at the moment and the phone died.
Oh, no.
Oh,
That's terrible.
disaster.
Dude.
You know you
Oh,
can
no.
plug them in. You know you can plug your phone in.
I had the music going. The music was perfect. The race was going. The race was going to plan. There was like one or two penalties there that I picked up at Tetra Rouge, which were a bit heady going. But the race was just going to plan. Like everything was just running smoothly. And then next thing I know, CCH is in the barrier at Arnage. Flossie's just stopped on track, and then I'm just on a black screen.
Oh,
Wow. Speaking
disaster.
of which, Corbin has just taken Flossie for second place.
He has.
And he's increasing it
That's
too.
Flossie's got a 2-second penalty. Oh, Corbin.
If Corbin could pick up second on what he's running at the moment, it means I was in for second as well then.
Yeah, you were. So Corbin is definitely going to take second. Flossie's just had to burn a penalty, so he's going to be 3 seconds behind.
What happened to Speedy?
Oh, he's gone. He's in the future
Yeah,
now.
he's gone.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna read Hammy's bio here. So he's saying, guys, my name's Graham Hamilton, known as Hammy, to his mates. He's 57 years old, lives in Sydney, and has non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, a form of cancer. Had a couple of chemo rounds this year in March, but with the pandemic was told to stay away from the hospitals. Married 5 years ago to Tara. Thanks to her, she is the reason that he's racing, but she wasn't expecting wheel-to-wheel though. He's an extruder operator working for DuPont. Extrudes membrane fibre for water filtration. Joined wheel-to-wheel in the first season with the Super Formula and the Group 3 Lexus. He's saying that he sold his Ford XWGS in the 80s and headed off to Europe, seeing the 57th Le Mans Grand Prix in 89, and also Formula 1 races at Silverstone, Spa, Monza, and Portugal, Estoril. He loves those V10s and V12 engines. So that is a short bio on Hammy to the Bone.
Legend.
Yeah, well
He is a
done, Hammy.
legend of wheel to wheel, is Hammy. He's always got time for new members and always happy to lend a hand.
Good on you, buddy.
So yeah, you're great guy, and always enjoy racing with you and doing practice lobbies.
Hammy does a lot of setting of our calendar too, so if you want someone to blame for all the wet tracks, Hammy's the one to
Oh,
blame.
Hammy's the man, is he?
Well, we didn't have any wet races this year.
Not this season. In the off season, I'd expect a few.
In those 92s, holy hell.
Yeah, that'll hurt.
So with 1 lap to go, we got Speedy with a 29-second lead over Corbin, who's done extremely well to find himself into second place. So
Yeah, he has.
he's made no time, or wasted no time in getting past Exo Flossie there. Who,
Flossie's coming
got to
back.
say, he's had a great drive, Flossie. And then we've got Evil 177 sitting in 4th. He's had a lonely old drive, but he's been very consistent. Then in 5th we got Troy. 6th is Ultralistic Straw. It's a hard bloody name to say. Might want to think of changing it for next season.
U-Straw.
Shout out to your Throws, man. He's had a good race. He was talking a bit earlier on the week about double stinting tyres. I don't know if he's done that or not, but he's had a real good of a race tonight, and he's come up to the ranks like a lightning bolt the last few rounds.
Yeah, he's new to wheel. It's his first season, yeah?
Actually, you know what? You raise a good point there, because didn't Flossie double stint the tyres at the beginning as well?
He did.
Which is yeah, he could have been in second if he didn't do that.
Yeah, and he's just picked up a second penalty. That's really
Loves a good
unfortunate.
penalty, does Flossie.
So you would think that he will take third on the podium now, unless Corbin can pick up another second or two penalty.
Don't
So
jinx
yeah,
him.
Untouchables really unlucky tonight, mate. You were looking good. You were looking good for a podium.
Very good.
Yeah. I didn't think I'd be able to have the speed to catch Flossie and Speedy. Like they're up the road, but like the longer the race went and the longer I stuck to my strategy, Flossie just kept falling back into my grasp more and more. So I sort of felt the confidence there that I could take second position with my final stint.
How'd you enjoy the Corvette?
Yeah, it was good. Initially, I was going to do so. The strat I was running was going to have 2 3-lappers either end of the race, and then run 4-lappers through the middle. And so I was going to do it. I was going to run the 4-lappers on mix 2. So I've been trying to make that strategy work for the last 2 weeks. And then this morning just booted up the pay station, started running 4-lappers on mix 1, and found out that worked as well. So I had my strategy all planned out pretty much since the start of the week. It was just a matter of when I was doing my practice just to execute a clean race, just to get my race times up. And yeah, like I said tonight, I felt like my race was going pretty much perfect. I don't think I could have done anything better, unless if I didn't spin on lap 1 at Arnage. Yeah, but it's all hearsay now.
Yeah.
So as we start the final
maybe.
lap, we've got Exo. He's found himself on the back of Corbin here, so he's in a prime position. So let's stay with him. We know that
who's got a
Speedy's
penalty?
this-
Corbin's got a penalty.
Corbin's picked up a second penalty.
Oh.
So look, if I was Corbin, I would be rolling from about the 350 at the first chicane. Yes, Flossie's going to take him here, but if you just roll from 350 or even the 400, you're not losing a great deal of time. And by the time you get down this straight, you would have burnt a penalty.
Oh,
So like
I don't know
even
if
still
Flossie
though,
meant to
if
do
you
that,
go into a roll though, your penalty doesn't sort of burn straight away. It sort of takes you to knock a few Ks off before you can start burning.
Yeah, look, that's how I found that I could burn penalties. And even when I was behind somebody, I would just get up behind them and then roll off, and then get up behind them and roll off. And just do that, keep doing that down the straight.
Yeah, Corbin's on older tyres, don't forget. Yeah, he's a bit. He's overdriving the car now.
He doesn't know where to burn it.
Yeah. He might be screwed here.
Well,
Don't mind you,
so-
smart. He'll get in the slip and burn it in the slip, as Rex is talking about. That's the best thing Corbin can do, is let Flossie pass and then try and burn it in the slips. Like, he should be behind.
See, I'd be rolling now.
Yeah, I would too. Is he going to do it?
Nah. He's
he's just on the track position.
I just want to give a quick mention while we're at it too, because we've mentioned everyone else. Wheel to Wheel Ben, who I consider the conscience of Wheel to Wheel. Whenever there's some sort of dispute on there, he seems to be the voice of reason that comes out on the Discord. So big shout out to Ben, and he's also a part of the admin and stewarding and that. So great job, Ben. Thanks, mate.
He had a great race in Div 1 tonight, did Ben, so well done, Ben.
Yeah, I think he finished 5th, 4th, maybe.
4th or 5th.
He had a great drive.
I've got to say though, this season's been absolutely amazing. I don't think we could have drawn up a better season if we tried.
I'll tell you what, there's a bit of weaving going on here.
Yes.
These boys don't want to give their slip away.
Corbin does not want to give it up. Even though he's got, holy shit, even though he's got a second to burn. So we're
not just going to end well, it's just not.
You get that feeling, don't you?
Yeah.
Is he hoping that Flossie's going to pick up a penalty before the...
He's hoping, Corbin's run wide. Flossie hasn't made a mistake.
Ruined it.
Corbin's made a mistake there.
He was always going to finish third. He had a second to burn.
I think he was going to try and dispute it post-race.
As we see, Speedy tyres coming into the second last chicane.
Yeah, so great drive by Speedy. What can you say? 35 seconds in front.
Yeah, well done,
He's dominated this race. So well done to Speedy. So
Awesome
back to
job,
Flossie
Speedy.
and Corbin. So Corbin's still got 0.8 of a second to burn. So he's going to finish third. Flossie's had a great drive to take second. So unless he picks up a penalty here, he's run wide. Is he going to pick up a penalty?
I think he'll be okay.
I think.
Yeah, he is. He's got
Yeah,
away with that.
just.
Congrats to TNR. They've got cars in both in second and fourth. So good team drive for those guys.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, look, Evil One has had a lonely race, but he's been very consistent.
Corbin's not going to burn this penalty.
There you go.
Yes.
Oh,
just
you might have just
Point,
missed.
0.1. So yeah, now we've got Evil One taking 4. So great drive by him. Troy made a mistake earlier and spun. If he didn't, he probably would have been battling for a podium position. So great drive by Troy. As we said earlier, he's had a tough time in that McLaren, but he's always showed plenty of good pace.
Yeah,
Well done, Troy.
Congrats to Trollocs as well, coming over the line in 6th.
Yeah, he's had an awesome race as well in that Corvette. Bloody fast in a straight line, that thing. Trying to stay behind oil tonight was almost impossible.
Yeah.
So
Anyway,
then we
back to
got Smurf and Hammy. What's going on? You've fallen off at the end there, buddy.
Oh, come on, Hammy.
But no, can't take anything away from Smurf. He's had a great drive. He's had Hammy
He has.
behind him the whole race. So well done to Smurf for a 7th.
Isn't this the part of the commentary where we say this was just the practice race? The real one starts now?
Yeah, this is just a warm-up.
Got to get a good warm-up in.
So Smurf manages to keep it penalty-free for the last sector.
Well done, Smurf.
To take 7, Hammy in 8th. J-Dub's going to take 9th, and that will be the final race for Season 6 in wheel-to-wheel racing.
Oh.
So well done to all those who won tonight.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
a few dropouts,
Well
unfortunately. One with us right
Yeah.
now. That is so unfortunate.
done. Not wrong. So well done, everyone.
Yeah, that's a great drive by Speedy. Congratulations. What was his overall time? We'll see that in a second.
29.19, that's quick.
What was it?
29.19.
Yeah, so that's a nice fast race.
Yeah, that's a great race. That's a good. That's
So
a Div
that'll
1
have
time.
him
That's a Div 1 time.
sitting in, challenging the guys in Div 1.
Yep. That's a Div 1 time.
So
for sure.
great drive there by Speedy.
Yeah, well done.
And so
Great
that's
job for
it.
everyone. That's it for Wheel to
All
Wheel
done,
for
boys.
Season 6.
Season 6 done and dusted.
Yep.
Again, if you've liked tonight's racing, don't forget to hit the like button. And with the off season starting up soon, now's a good opportunity to jump into Wheel to Wheel. So head to the Facebook page.
Off season's going to be crazy with those Group C's.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. And we're also going to do an awards night as well, just like we did last year, doing it a little bit different. So we'll try and get that out before Chrissy. And Rexy, myself, Dale do some commentary on that with Tombo doing the visuals. So just watch out for that this week, guys. Just keep an eye out.
So that's it. So big thanks to our sponsor, Races World. Thank you very much for the season.
Yep.
Also, thanks goes out to all the guys behind the scenes, Fire Moves, of course, and everyone else involved. Vintage, big thanks to you.
Yeah,
I've
thank you, everyone.
enjoyed listening to your commentary throughout the season.
Oh, very
And
great
Dodgy
week.
with all your visuals.
Glad to be here.
Good on you guys. That's it. We'll see you in the off season.
See you around,
Cheers.
boys.
Cheers, boys.
Have a Merry
boys.